Hey, what's up everyone? I hope all of you are doing great, and yes, we have completed 1000 subscribers just at the right time. And I would like to thank all of you. You people supported me from the beginning of this channel, and I hope you people will stay connected and watch, and we'll grow together. This channel is not only my channel, I think it is our channel, because we as a community uh, grew together, I think, in all these 7 to 8 months. Anyways, it's raining a lot here, so you might hear some buzzing noise in the background. Please try to ignore it. So in today's question we have a particle like balls, each of mass m, are affixed at both ends of a light rigid rod of length L. The composite body thus formed is suspended from a nail O, okay, with the help of two light inextensible cords affixed on each ball. Length of each cord is also L, so these lengths are also L. Now arrangement is pulled aside, bringing one ball is level with the nail and keeping both the cords straight, and then released. Find maximum tension T max in a cord. In the subsequent motion, acceleration of free fall is G. So we need to find out the maximum tension in any one of the cords. It doesn't matter which one, because it will fetch you the same result. So let us go to the solution. So initially our structure was like this. So these two are the strings, and this is the massless rod holding these two point masses, just like a dumbbell. After releasing, at some point of time, this line connecting point O and the center of mass will make an angle theta with the horizontal, right? And in the given time it will gain some angular velocity omega. So to find the value of angular velocity, we'll use energy conservation. So decrease in potential energy will be equal to increase in kinetic energy of the whole system. So the potential energy, just look at the center of mass, it falls down by some value. So initially it was at a height this, and now it is at a height this one. So decrease in potential energy is 2 mg root 3 by 2 L. This length is root 3 by 2 L. Sine of theta minus sine of 30, right, equals to increase in kinetic energy of these two point masses, that is half ml square times omega times 2, due to there are two masses. So we got omega square like this. Now to find out the angular velocity, we will differentiate it with respect to time. Can you hear the lightning? Anyways, so differentiating with differentiating with respect to time, so we get 2 omega d omega dt, that is the angular velocity. That gives you root 3 by L g cos theta d theta dt. So d theta dt is angular velocity. So we got alpha as a function of theta. Very nice. So we have omega square, we have alpha, that is the angular acceleration. Now we need to find out T1 or T2. Any one of them will give you the answer. Now center of mass is performing circular motion, no doubt in that. So the net force acting on the center of mass towards the center would be T1 sin theta, T2 sin theta minus 2 mg sin theta. Just don't keep any confusion, just draw this T1 here. So this one would be 60, so T1 sin 60. Similarly draw this T2 here. So just take the component towards the center. So T1 sin 60 plus T2 sin 60 minus 2 mg sin theta equals 2m omega square, that is m omega square L, 2m omega square, this length. Circular motion, concept of circular motion. Now just use the value of omega square that we have achieved from equation 1, just put it here. Solving it, we will get something like this. So you can just try it out. Okay, you need to trust me here, because I have already solved this equation. Okay, we'll get this one as a simplified form. Okay, now we need another equation to solve for T1 and T2. So we'll just draw the rod once again. We can see that T1 and T2 are acting like this. Angular acceleration with respect to center of mass would be alpha. It is a rigid body, right? Angular acceleration is an inherent property, doesn't matter with respect to which axis you are finding out. Angular acceleration will be same. So best location I think is the center of mass. So with respect to center of mass, the net torque because you don't have to find out the torque with respect to due to the pseudo force, right? So with respect to center of mass, the net torque is T1 sine 60 L by 2 minus T2 sine 60 L by 2 equals moment of inertia of the whole structure, that is m L by 2 square times 2 due to 2 masses into alpha. Solve it again, you will get T1 minus T2 equals mg cos alpha. Just put the value of alpha that you have got from equation 2, right? Solve this two equation, find out T1 or you can find out T2, both will give you the same answer as I have said. So T1 is this one. We need to find out the maximum value of T1, so just differentiate the equation with respect to theta. You will get something like this. You will get tan theta equals 10 by root 3. So 10 by root 3, that is root over 103. So just put the value of theta from here in this equation, then you will get the maximum value of T1. So sin theta is 10 by root over 103 and cos theta is root 3 root over divided by root over 103. Just put the values, solve it, and you will get your desired result. Okay, I hope you all have found this video helpful and informative. If you are new to this channel, please do subscribe, and if you like the video, give a thumbs up, and thanks again. I'll see you in the next one. Peace, take care.